Has there been a nest inside here? Has there been something that might have been nesting inside here? What I find funny is I've just bought myself a 2007 Mercedes Sprinter medium wheelbase as a non-runner, and it runs. Obviously I wouldn't buy something that didn't have a problem, and it's actually got an issue, and all I've done was unplug a plug and I've got it running. And you guys know me, I have been swapping engines on these VW Caddies. It's about time I had a little bit of luck on my side, and let me tell you, I've unplugged a throttle body on this Mercedes Sprinter and she actually starts, runs and drives. And the best thing about it all, I've only got 2 lights on the dash. Yes, I need a little bit of fluid because man is low, and an EML light because I've unplugged that throttle body. And this must have been a common issue for the previous owner, because what I found here inside the glove box was a throttle pedal, and I believe that to be the throttle body itself. So as soon as I seen these, I knew he was having some sort of throttle related issue. So I unplugged them under the van, and she started. Now I don't normally get this lucky, and you guys who know, watch my content, I love looking at new vans, cars, engines, I love it. But for this one, I need this one to be running, driving, because this is going to be the van that collects all the engines for the Caddy swaps. So if you are new to the channel, just make sure you do me a massive favour, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, because 9 times out of 10, I'm swapping engines, taking engines out, or rebuilding vans. So if you do like that type of content, make sure you go and hit the subscribe and the like button below. Wow, what an absolute beauty I have just got for a couple of grand. Now this is a 2007 medium wheelbase Mercedes Sprinter, and the whole purpose of buying this van was so I can use it to do engine swaps, engine conversions, collect the engines, have that Sprinter van where I'm not messing around anymore with parts. I'm not having no more delays. I want the Sprinter to be like my single place. I can hold parts, I can have parts, you name it, I can use it for. But when I got it off the back of a truck, oh, and look how clean this cab is. Wow, I have got myself. So there's been a code for, it must be a throttle body or an accelerator pedal. It's one of these that's throwing the code. More than likely it's probably the wiring between the two. There might be a kink in the wiring or something over the years. I don't know, a bit of rubbing, bit of play. But it sounds really, really good. It's got to be something really stupid, a bag. So let's have a look under the bonnet, let's have a look at that throttle body, and let's try and get that back connected. Let's read the code, and I think we can start the diagnosis on this Mercedes Sprinter. I'm looking forward to getting it running properly with no EML lights on. Worst case scenario, I'm just hoping it's a wiring fault and I can run a new wire from the throttle body or the accelerator pedal straight to the ECU, assuming that's where it goes. Remember, I have never touched a Mercedes Sprinter mechanically. I used to have a Sprinter, but I've never touched one before. Wow, look at how nice and clean that engine bay is. Fresh coolant inside there. Yeah, it looks very clean inside this engine bay. and I don't even know where to start. But there's a lot more room than what I'm used to, let's put it that way, which is good. So, looks like it's got a new belt on there as well, which looks decent. Assuming this is the airbox, MAF sensors and stuff around here. So, what I did was unplug a throttle body, just down here. See that plug just down there? You should hopefully be able to see it. There. I unplugged that, and the van runs, starts and drives. It's got fault codes. So let's get it plugged in. Let's have a look at the fault codes. I'm glad the ECU is only just here, because that's really easy and accessible to get to, which is good. And it means if I need to pin or depin any wires back in there, it's fair enough and very straightforward to do so. But look at how clean this van is for a 57 reg. I mean, I think it's very, very clean. Let me know in the comments what you guys think below, but I'm buzzing with it. What a buy. Right, let me get them two disconnected. Let me get them two connected again. Let's go from there. So because I've done this a million times over, and look at how clean that cab is, lads. Tell me that is not one of the cleanest Sprinters cabs you've seen for a 2007 with 140,000 miles on the clock. So I'm just going to plug the Autel in here, and we're going to try and scan the data. So I've just done a scan, cleared all the fault codes, and now I've got no EML light. Now I know it could come back on at any time, lads, I'm not that daft. So I'm just going to run the van, probably going to get up to temperature and see if any codes come up. So I unplugged the throttle body, got it to start, plugged the throttle body back in, and now it starts. First time on the button. So I don't get it. Now there was a little tiny plug that was next to the throttle body plug that was unplugged, so I don't know if that needs to be plugged in as well. But on these throttle bodies, as you can see what someone's already replaced, there's only one plug there, which is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pin plug. So I don't know. Anyway, I've cleared the codes. I'm going to let it run for 5 minutes, read the codes again, let's have a look and see what we've got. And this Sprinter just sounds really good, guys, look. Honestly, I have no words. Did the person before, did they change the throttle body, change the accelerator pedal, and I don't know, just didn't plug the sensor back in, or did they try and plug the sensor in the wrong way round, or did they just think, oh crap, I've had fault codes, it's not going to work? Maybe could they not clear the fault codes? I don't know. Can't be that easy, can it? It can't be that easy. Can't be. Not for me anyway. Let's see if we break down then. So I'll plug the throttle body back in. Bearing in mind, I've got mud all over my wheels, so I'm just going to razz around the estate a little bit first, just to test her, because obviously a long wheelbase Sprinter, sorry, medium wheelbase Sprinter. Try and keep up the revs as well. She sounds a bit OTT like. She pulls alright. She pulls okay. So far so good. Only got a washer bottle light on. So far so good. Now we are fully taxed and tested, of course, before you all come for me in the comments, this is my private estate. Just to let you all know. She feels good. She feels good. To know, because I know it's got coolant in it, but it doesn't say temperature, does it? Which is not. Oh, management light on, EML light on. Perfect. So we've now got an engine management code on, which is exactly so engine management lights on. This is going to be a boost issue, and I know it is. I can just tell it is. I reckon it's a turbo. Turbo's getting a little bit of jip. I reckon it's an underboost, overboost code or something now. I do. So the EML light did come on. So let's do a bit of investigation, have a look at what it is. So I've just replaced this boost pressure sensor here, which is a Bosch one. It was a Chinese one. There's two little screws. I'm not going to show you how to do it. It just pops out. And the old one was a Chinese brand, and this is a Bosch brand. So I don't know whether somebody, previous owners, tried to replace this, not tried to replace this boost pressure sensor here. Now we have still got atmospheric pressure between boost pressure and component CDI control unit, which again, I don't know where that sort of goes, what the CDI control unit, that might be the ECU, which is down there. And there's a lot of like bits and bobs all over the ECU, so I don't know if it was a bird's nest or something inside here before. But at the minute, please refer to service manual. So I'll have a look at that. I need to know where the CDI control unit is, and then have a look. But at the minute, I've got no fault codes, and I've drove it around the estate. I've just took it on another test run all the way around. I think that throttle body still needs changing. But we've changed that. Let's go and give it a test drive. We've got insurance, got breakdown cover. Let's check her for a spin. I've got some bits in the, and I keep thinking like something's going to fall off somewhere. It's not, it's all in the back. But I've got the black mat over the top, so we should be alright. Okay. First stop, meal deal from Tesco, because that's what I need. So I do like these medium wheelbase Sprinters, I do. I think they're really nice cars, vans, whatever you want to call them, vans. I think they're really, really nice. Sprinters are just proper vans. I might give this one a quick clean. I might not yet. Let's try and run it for a bit first. I think my plan is just to take around the block. Take it around the block a little bit. I can't remember what these Sprinters are like. I haven't drove one in a long time. Like, meaning like how they handle, how they feel, how they drive. I've not had one of these for a while, so we'll take it for a little spin first, and then we'll go get ourselves a little Tesco meal deal. Oh, that car's going very, very fast, bro. Got to remember I've got my gear in the back as well, which isn't great. It's not very boosty. Got an EML light on. Right, so a lot of you guys will be used to this view. This is how we build the caddies, this is how we do everything. This is the home for the Sprinter for the next week or so while I do some investigation. Is the wiring from here. So from this boost pressure sensor, it says atmospheric, so whether it's the wiring from here, and I have had a look, it goes all the way back to the ECU along this top strip, so I think I might be able to have a look at that fairly quickly, but I think we need to smoke test it and just see and make sure there's no boost leaks first of all, because that's always the first thing to start with, is a smoke test. So I bought a little cheap smoke tester, I think it was off eBay or Amazon or something, and all I'm doing now is just putting smoke into here to see if we can see any boost leaks. At the minute, so far so good. What I am looking for is any sort of manifoldy type of, but it's an implausible signal, so it's got to be wiring. But while I'm here, just to give myself some assurance, it's best off just doing a quick smoke test. Just filling the engine bay with the smoke, because you're always looking for that next problem that may or may not come up. And it's talking about boost pressure as well, so I want to make sure that I just check everything. So I've done that really important thing that everyone should do when troubleshooting these vehicles and vans or anything like that, is just to take it in a step-by-step approach and go away and research what you've got. Now the reason I say that is, I have now got one fault left, and I want to show you exactly what I've done. And I've literally had a couple of days looking, trying different things, testing it. Now I haven't got the software that can read the Sprinter like I do with the VADCOM with the VCDS. But what I have done is managed to, one, go on the Sprinter forums on Facebook and put a couple of comments on there with the lads on there and get some hints and tips. And two, what I have managed to do, I've come quite far, and I'm going to show you exactly what I've done, because this is a new thing to me. I don't know what I'm dealing with. I haven't got the vendor software or diagnostic software. I've got to use the auto. I've got to try and do it as best as I can. But let me show you what I've done. It's very windy outside, but let me show you what I've done. So I've now done a lot of research. I've smoke tested that, as you've just seen there. This is okay. I've tried swapping this part out, and this is the mass airflow meter. Nothing wrong with that. I've then swapped out this, which is your boost pressure sensor. I've then swapped out this, which is a boost pressure sensor. Now that has been done, that has been swapped out, and I still have the fault codes. Now that was a Chinesian brand, so it did knock another code off. I then started deconstructing the wiring loom back to here. I've now since put that back and just left that here so I can then get the colour codes as to where they go. Fine. But remember, I had a fault code that went from somewhere, from this boost pressure sensor to somewhere else, atmospheric pressure. So I thought, right. The lads on the forums then pointed me to underneath the van, where that boost is. So I've now picked up myself a full plug, and I'm going to crimp it onto the loom. I changed the plug last time, but I felt like the inserts weren't quite in far enough. And now I'm getting this reading on screen, which is a high voltage or voltage high reading. So it means that what I've done is actually correct. I've got rid of most of the fault. I've now just got a high reading, probably because the wiring isn't quite right in the plug. So I bought this off eBay. You can get it from Mercedes, which is about 8 quid, 10 quid, something like that. I'm going to strip the wiring loom back off that plug, what I've already done, disconnect them, and recrimp this new wiring loom into that. And I think that should be the problem with the engine management light. So I'm going to get cracking. You ain't going to be able to see it. I'll show you after it's done. Because one, it's freezing out here and I'm cold. And two, there's now what you can see. I'm underneath the bottom of the van, just recrimping cables. So you ain't going to see much. So I'm going to do this. I'm Baltic. It's windy. And let's hope we can fix the Sprinter in this one video. I want the Sprinter done in one video, ideally. That is the plan. She's beautiful. Let's get terminating. Let's get the CML light off. Let's get the Sprinter wrapped up. But before I do get cracking, I just want to show and say that trial and error 99% of the time if you haven't got the right code reader. What I have noticed though is boost pressure sensor, boost forms round, they run in tandem, and that first code I was getting was on about boost pressure and boost related, or not being able to see between was it some code and that end point. So I think the fault was between here and going down to there. I believe so. Replacing the boost sensors fixed the problem. Now I've got a high reading on one of the wires, which I think the new termination will fix. And again, it's just trial and error. It's learning these engines. I haven't got a clue about the Sprinters, but it's making sense. So big shout out to anybody who's supported me on the Facebook group for Mercedes Sprinters. If you do need any help, go and check out the Mercedes Sprinter Tech UK group or whatever they're called on Facebook. Fantastic lads. You do get a bit of jip from some of them, but look, this is the game that we play. It's a new van, it's a new starter, and like they say, these Sprinters want Bosch. They don't want no Chinesian brand, they don't want no eBay special, they want Bosch, the proper OEM style sensors. And I agree, let's get the cable done. So I've just checked that, and I can confirm that there was a little nick inside the cable, which I think was causing that to come back as too high. So now I should clear the fault codes, and I shouldn't have anything else other than a glow plug, but it's not causing the mill to come on. So I think this should be fixed. So turn it back on. And we've got no EML. Now we were in this position earlier where we had no EML on until we drove it. So we're gonna have to go out again and drive it and see if this Sprinter is fixed once and for all. So I think that's a wrap for the Sprinter. I think now we've got no codes, I'm going to continue to drive it, and hopefully there won't be a second episode on the Sprinter. But I've changed both them I've changed both them sensors. I've recrimped the wiring loom. There can't be anything else. There can't be anything else that's going to cause it the issue, unless I've missed something. So guys, thanks so much for watching. If you do enjoy these videos, do me a massive favour, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one.